And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, IR Radio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered in multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Tuesday, and man, oh man, more quarterback news breaking every single day, and it always breaks after we're done with the show. We almost caught it yesterday, almost caught the breaking news, the Matt Ryan breaking news yesterday. We saw everybody hinting to it, we heard everybody talking about it, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show, but then when we were done with the show, the news finally broke, and then after the Matt Ryan news broke, one other quarterback news broke. So, well, actually three quarterback news broke yesterday, and we are almost done with quarterback news for the 2022 offseason. Very, very close. Still waiting on we got two more names, basically. One major name that everybody knows, one smaller name that I do believe deserves another chance. We'll talk about that to see if there's another spot available. Are there more spots for all these quarterbacks? Where it's a quarterback carousel. That's the theme of this offseason, folks, the quarterback carousel. And we might be able to kind of play into that for our flag or a canvas next season. So, we're talking quarterback news today, folks, and I want to watch a little bit of film. We should be able to get to this film, folks. Once again, y'all know how we do on the show. Go a little bit late, go a little extended on most of the topics that we talk about here. And it is a Tuesday, so Tuesday, Thursday, we have to speed it up a little bit. But there are some film I do want to watch on the two quarterbacks that we kind of are focusing in on today. So, we'll see if we get to that. Got to break down the NBA from last night. And tomorrow, folks, get ready. Because once again, all this quarterback news, we are backlogged. There's so much quarterback news. We are backlogged on quarterback news. We got to look at Russell Wilson. We still don't know if this man is good anymore. We all think this man is still good because what he's shown us his entire career. But what did last season look like? Is this man still good, or did the Seahawks get rid of him right at the right moment? We still have to investigate that. So tomorrow, we will do whatever it takes to fit that into the show, whether that's an NBA Daily 10. We have to set up 10 minutes on the clock. Whether it has to be an NBA 5 seconds. If I have to go through the entire NBA tomorrow in only 5 seconds, I will do that. We must watch Russell Wilson. Is this man still good? I want to get those that college quarterback draft prospect, Malik Willis. Want to watch film on him because now there's another quarterback potentially emerging that's going to be taken in the draft. It's quarterback bonanza over the last 3 weeks ever since the season concluded, folks. Quarterback carousel, quarterback bonanza this offseason in the NFL, and we are behind. So tomorrow and a little bit of an unofficial offseason film study Wednesday, folks. Don't forget, we love the film study Wednesdays, trying to pull some out here in the offseason. We are going to get to the bottom of Russell Wilson, so that is coming up tomorrow on the show. But today, we are focusing on the quarterback news that broke yesterday. So, that's what we've got today on the show. Oh, and there's one other NFL story we got to get to the bottom of. And folks, if there's one thing that I'm pretty confident about early on this offseason, heading into next season, is that the Cowboys are going to be utter trash, like really, really bad, folks. And it's not that we hate the Cowboys or don't like the Cowboys or knock on the Cowboys for no reason. We were big on the Cowboys last offseason, heading into last season. We wanted to see them succeed. We thought they would do so much better than what they did. We were cheering up the Walk of Fame defense the entire season. We loved the Cowboys' lackluster ending to their season, but now they're just losing piece after piece after piece after piece, and we see their head coach is still Mike McCarthy, so we know there's still no leadership. Dan Quinn, can he keep it up for a second year? Replicating great defense back-to-back years is one of the most difficult things to do in the NFL, folks, and we rarely see it back-to-back or 3 years in a row. So can Dan Quinn go back-to-back great defensive years? I don't know. Got more lackluster. Point of the story is I believe the Cowboys are going to be absolutely bad this season, but Dak Prescott opens his mouth, folks. So there's an article. Dak, you're going to have to convince us that this is the Cowboys' year. year, and we'll see if Dak can't convince us. It's going to take a lot of convincing, but it is doable. There is convincing out there to be had, to be done, to be said. So we'll see if Dak Prescott's pushing the right buttons of trying to win us back over. And I know it's still early, folks. It's real early on, and that's what makes all this quarterback news and all this just overall general NFL news a little overwhelming, because it's so early and it's so like right in our face, and it's all back to back to back to back. I mean, we've got breaking news, and then 20 minutes later, more breaking news, and then 20 more minutes, more breaking news that was more breaking than the other two breaking news that occurred earlier in the day. So it's all overwhelming. It's coming so quick and furious and fast, and it's so early on in the offseason that it's kind of, getting everybody, a little manic out there. But there is still time, obviously a lot of time in the offseason for us to change our opinions and all that. But at the current moment, Dak, you got your work cut out for you. So we'll see if Dak Prescott can convince us that the Cowboys are going to be good this season. I'm not seeing it. We'll see if he can convince us. So we've got all that today on the show. Going to be a great one. So let's start it off here with the NBA. We'll break down the NBA from last night, talk about betting tonight in the NBA, then we'll shift gears to all that great NFL information stories. Ooh, it's going to be great. So let's start here with the NBA and go game by game, see what happens. So here we go. A handful of games on in the NBA last night, and we are back talking the NBA. Got right back on track yesterday. Now that kind of the madness that is March Madness, the initial madness of March Madness kind of concluded over the weekend. So frees up time. Back to our regular scheduled programming here. So here we go. We only took one game betting-wise last night in the NBA to get reacclimated back into the league, and that didn't pan out too well. So, all right, we'll talk about that when we get to that game. But the first game up here is the Pelicans and the Hornets get it done, folks. They win by 3, so I love this. Pelicans were close with only CJ McCollum and Valanciunas, and then the Hornets ended up closing out the game for the 3-point win, winning 106-103. So, loved everything about this game. There was really no losers last night in these games. Pelicans are still competitive. Hornets are kind of getting their best at the end of the year, which is exactly what you really want to see from playoff caliber teams. So shout out to the Hornets and shout out to Vegas for kind of, telling us this is what was going to happen at some point this season. Took a little bit later than Vegas kind of expected, but it's here now, folks. It's Hornets team, a little deadly, a little dangerous, and it's definitely going to be a tough out in the playoffs, and especially in that play-in tournament that they are currently slotted for. This Hornets team currently still 9th in that play-in tournament, 9th in that Eastern Conference. So Hornets, Hawks, potential play-in tournament first-round matchup, and because it is that 9-10 seed play-in tournament, it's one and done. Win and move on, or lose and go home. Not win and in, not if you're 9-10. It's win and move on to the next round, the final round, lose and go home. So Hornets getting it done. I mean, they're on a 5-game win streak, folks. That may be best in the NBA. We get the Suns on a 5-game win streak, and that's it. So it's the Suns and the Hornets, both on 5-game win streaks, the highest in the NBA as of right now. So this is great by this Hornets team, catching fire at the end of the year. We had LaMelo Ball, 17 points, 9 assists. Terry Rozier, 17 points. Mason Plumlee still holding it down at the 5, 11 points, 10 rebounds. And then Miles Bridges, 16 big old points. And then the bench of the Hornets truly helping out. Montrezl Harrell, who we absolutely love on this squad, 12 points, 2 rebounds. And Isaiah Thomas, 15 points in 13 minutes. Shout out to Isaiah Thomas coming back into the league here and having some really solid production coming off the bench. We absolutely love it. Kelly Oubre Jr. had a little bit of a lackluster game last night, 6 points on 6 shots in 15 minutes. But overall, the Hornets got it done at the end of the day. They're winning games and looking pretty solid while doing so. Shout out to the Hornets. And then for the Pelicans, kept the game close. Valanciunas had 24 points and 18 rebounds and 5 assists. Not really much more than man could have done. CJ McCollum, 27 points, 6 assists, shot 3 of 7 from the 3. So that was fantastic. And then everybody else truly just kind of was way lackluster last night. Even Jackson Hayes, who we love on the show here. Great athleticism that he has. But he had 9 points and 7 rebounds. Overall, that's okay. More of okay off the bench, not in the starting lineup. But he only only shot 37%, so a little lackluster there. And then we had Devontae Graham at the 1, 2 points on 12% shooting. Yeah, definitely lackluster there. So everybody else could not score. So that's why we're saying, we obviously need Brandon Ingram back in the lineup for this team to win games and for us to bet on this team. But the fact that they were still competitive while everybody else, role player wise, was lackluster and they didn't have their 3 for their complete big 3, I think there is still value in this Pelicans team. Currently, the Pelicans are the 10th seed in the Western Conference with a 2-game buffer from the Spurs outside looking in at number 11. So still need the Pelicans to start winning some games here so they can keep that play-in tournament. Really want to see this Pelicans team in the play-in tournament. Spurs, if they do get in the play-in tournament, it'd be okay. Once again, they've got some nice pieces. Shout out to Jacob Podol. And we can, why am I blanking on the point guard's name? Blanking on the man's name. We'll talk about it. I think the Spurs played last night, so we'll talk about that then. But yeah, Pelicans at number 10. Pelicans or the Spurs? You give me the choice. I'm taking the Pelicans in the play-in tournament over the Spurs. So shout out to Valanciunas. Hopefully they can start winning games to secure their play-in tournament spot here. But being competitive without Brandon Ingram and only losing by 3, I think it's a solid loss. Obviously, you want to win. Obviously, but overall solid competition here by the Pelicans, keeping it close. Only lose by 3, 106-103. All right, next game up here, and this is the game that we bet on. Cavs -5 was our official pick, and it was looking good. Right off the rip, that first quarter, the Lakers were so lackluster. They could not buy a bucket in the first quarter, but unfortunately, you play 4 quarters, and for the other 3 quarters, the Lakers were on, absolutely on. So Cavs don't win. They don't cover the 5. The Lakers, LeBron's return to Cleveland gets it done, and the Lakers win 131-120. LeBron going absolutely manic, triple-double in Cleveland. How could we overlook that nugget? LeBron in Cleveland, of course he's going to go manic. Shame on me for not factoring that into our decision of taking the Cavs -5. Womp, womp. Thought Evan Mobley could hold it down at the 5, and he had an okay game, but LeBron was just too much for the entire Cavs team. LeBron triple-double, 38 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds. Sheesh, folks. LeBron, the ageless wonder out here, fine as wine, getting better with age. LeBron James out here, gotta respect it. Holy moly, fantastic. We had Russell Westbrook, 20 points, 11 assists, fantastic. Only 1 turnover, a +23 on the floor in 35 minutes. Yeah, that's the Russell Westbrook, but where's all the Russell Westbrook praise? Nobody gives him praise when he does good. Everybody, bags on him when he does bad. We refrained from doing that on the show. Shout out to Russell Westbrook for having a good game last night. And then that was really it. Nobody else did anything good for the starters. We had Austin Reeves in the starting lineup, 11 points. He did have 6 assists and 5 rebounds to go along with that, so we'll give him a little bit of credit. Dwight Howard, 11 minutes in the starting lineup, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Nothing right there. Off the bench, Malik Monk. Malik Monk back off the bench here. Ooh, that's not great. And he didn't play that well either. 12 points on 0-4 from the 3. I mean, come on, Malik Monk, get it together more. You are kind of the person holding this team back. You can say Russell Westbrook's holding this team back or Anthony Davis being injured holding this team back. Yeah, absolutely. But for the players that are here, Malik Monk, please step up and be that main scorer. Get it done. Be that lethal, cutthroat, ice in your veins score when it is needed. Crunch time early on. Like they needed a score early on in the first quarter. Malik Monk, go and be that. Only 12 points last night. We need better out of Malik Monk, and the man lost his starting position, folks. The man is no longer in the starting rotation. He's coming off the bench. This is not good. You've got Austin Reeves taking your spot. Do you see where the problem is, Malik Monk? Please step it up. We've been saying all year long this Lakers team will only go as far as Malik Monk brings them, and so far he's on the bench, and the Lakers are kind of the 10th seed in that play-in tournament in the Western Conference. So do you see the correlation there, folks? Please, Malik Monk, whatever it takes for you to get good, please start getting good. Please, please, please. We had DJ Augustine off the bench, 20 points, easy peasy, 7 of 7 from the field, 6 of 6 from the 3 for his 20 points off the bench. Malik Monk, why is that not you? Why are you not doing that? Malik Monk, please, 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 get it together. And then we had Stanley Johnson with a nice 12 points off the bench as well. Malik Monk, please get it together. Lakers end up winning and beating the Cavs because of all those good performances. And then for the Cavs last night, Darius Garland, dang, did his thing, folks. 29 points, 17 assists, magnificent. Evan Mobley still at the 5, filling in for no Jared Allen. 13 points, but only 5 rebounds. Little bit of a lackluster game. We've seen Evan Mobley play fantastic, phenomenal at the 5. I'm talking 25 and 15 we've seen from this man. And so 13 and 5, not going to cut it, especially when the King is in town. Did nobody tell this Cavs team the King was in town? Come on. We had Lauri Markkanen, 18 points, 9 rebounds. Lamar Stevens, 16 points. And then Kevin Love coming off the bench, 8 points, 6 assists. He got absolutely posterized by LeBron James, so that's never a good look. And then Karis LeVert, 13 points coming off the bench as well. Just not enough to get it done. C.D. Osman also let us down, 5 points on 1 of 6 from the 3. Usually we can rely on him for a little bit more production offensively. So, Cavs just could not keep the King from doing King things, and the King gets the win 131-120 over the Cavs last night. All right, next game up here is the Blazers at the Pistons, and when I see stuff like this, folks, when I see stuff like this, final scores like this, I just want to quit the show and never do it again because truly nothing matters. You can talk an hour and a half, hour 45 every single day of the week for a year and 8 months straight, folks, and at the end of the day, nothing matters. Nobody knows anything because we get this Blazers team winning last night. The Blazers won last night with no Josh Hart. Josh Hart didn't play, and that's their only good player now that everybody is gone on this team. So no Josh Hart, still no Anthony Simons, Nurkic chill out, CJ McCollum hasn't been here in a month. Norman Powell hasn't been here in 2 months, and this team was still able to beat the Pistons last night on the road. It's just like, what? Nothing matters. You can know what you're talking about. You can know sports, and still at the end of the day, we get games like this where a Blazers team with nobody on that roster beats the Pistons, who are a little bit up and coming. We've been, kind of championing the Pistons over the last month. Nothing too extreme, but, seeing great value when they're facing teams like this. I mean, man, oh man. Well, the only reason why we didn't take this game last night was because somebody was on the back-to-back. I would have swallowed the points here. What was the Pistons? Let me double-check what the final spread was. Pistons were minus 9.5. Of course, we probably would have taken that, but they were on the back-to-back, so we didn't take it. And here we are, glad, truly glad, big time glad, because so help me goodness, folks, if I took the Pistons minus 9.5 and they didn't cover against the Blazers, oh my God, there would be hell to pay on this show, folks. So they're lucky, the Pistons are lucky that the Blazers were on the back-to-back, so we did not swallow the 9.5 points, because we would have been relapsing our fear, our phobia of big spreads. The 9.5 points, folks, we count that as big spreads. Anything 9 points or more, that's what we officially call big spreads in the NBA. So, we would have taken that. Our fear, our phobia would have came back, and it all would have been because the Blazers had nobody on the roster. That's what have kicked off the entire thing. So I'm definitely so glad that we did not bet this game last night, because absolutely abysmal. Absolutely unacceptable that the Pistons lose by 4 last night to the Blazers, 119-115. But let's give a little credit to this Blazers team for stepping it up. We had Brandon Williams at the 1, 23 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. That's a pretty good night by a point guard here by this Blazers team. That's not Anthony Simons or obviously Damian Lillard. So Brandon Williams, very well done. We had CJ Ellaby filling in for Josh Hart at the 2. He had 16 points and 8 rebounds. Drew Eubanks still filling in at the 5, 17 points, 8 rebounds. That's pretty good. I'll take 8 rebounds like that. Trent Watford, 13 points. Justice Winslow, 10 points, 9 rebounds. And then off the bench, Ben McLemore truly getting it done. 21 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 2 assists, 5 rebounds off the bench. And also, let's shout out to Greg Brown with a nice 8 points coming off the bench as well. So, Blazers, man, oh man, they are digging deep. scraping the bottom of the barrel, but it paid off last night with the big old win on the road. It's all for naught because the Blazers are no longer in the running for any playoff spot. Obviously, they haven't been in I guess they are. They are still, I'm wrong on that. They are still in the running. They're only 2.5 games back from that 10th seed in the Western Conference to take that kind of 10th seed from the Pelicans. So, yeah, the Blazers digging in deep. I guess I got to give this team some respect and some credit. They're trying to make a push out here, and last night, man, oh man, did they ever do that. So are we going to be championing the Blazers now? Are we rooting for the Blazers to get in the playing tournament? No, because that means the Pelicans have to come out and give me the Pelicans or the Blazers, and I'm choosing the Pelicans all day. Now, if the Blazers had Simons and had Nurkic and all that, yeah, I would say, either team, that's fine, get in. But I don't want to see CJ Ellaby. I don't want to see Brandon Williams in a playing tournament game. Come on, folks. I got to see Valanciunas. I got to see McCollum. So, no disrespect to the Blazers, but we are going to be rooting against them and rooting for the Pelicans for that final seed. But give them some credit. Last night, a fantastic win, scraping the bottom of the barrel of their squad. And then for the Pistons, big time disappointment here. No Jeremy Grant last night, but that's no excuse. Obviously, the Blazers had nobody, so you just missing Jeremy Grant, no excuse. You still had Cade Cunningham, you still had Sadiq Bey, who both scored 25 points, and you still couldn't get it done. So still shame on this Pistons team for losing at home last night. Oh my God, so unacceptable. Cade Cunningham had 25 points, 7 assists. That was well done. Sadiq Bey had 25 points, 5 rebounds. That's pretty well done. Isaiah Stewart, 8 points, 13 rebounds. I love the rebounds points-wise. Let's step that up a little bit. Killian Hayes, 12 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. And Marvin Bagley, 15 points, 9 rebounds. So everybody in the starting lineup had a pretty nice night. Saban Lee coming off the bench, 9 points, 3 rebounds. I'll take that. And then we had Luka Garza, 11 points off the bench in only 16 minutes. So just coming up a tad short here, not being able to beat the Blazers, kind of unacceptable. Pistons letting us down, man oh man. Blazers get the win, keep their potential play-in tournament game alive with the win last night. We'll see if they can keep it up. They get the win 119-115. All right, next game up is the Heat at the 76ers, and the 76ers win and beat the Heat 113-106, and there was no Joel Embiid, and there was no James Harden last night for the 76ers, and they still get the win. This was their starting lineup that they rocked with: Tyrese Maxey at the 1, Matisse Thybulle at the 2, Georges Niang at the 3, Tobias Harris at the 4, and Paul Millsap at the 5, and that was enough to get a win over this Heat team, folks. Absolutely disgusting by this Heat team. 76ers claimed the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference last night with this big time win. So, man, oh man, this Heat team, everything that we've loved about this Heat team, they bought into that, folks. I'm kind of sold that, at the height of the Heat hype, 2.5 months ago, month and a half, 2 months ago, at the height of the Heat's hype, folks, they truly bought into that, and they're not doing the same things that made them so great. Dogging it out in the fourth quarter, next man up mentality, utilizing the entire starting lineup and the entire bench to win the games. They are utilizing none of the things that made them so great, that made us fall in love with them, that made us give them the nickname, the dog pound, the kennel, and all that, folks. They bought in their own hype, and they're no longer doing the great things that made them so great. So, once again, we are kind of truly off on this Heat team, but well done for the 76ers of on a back-to-back winning a game. And once again, folks, remember when we were talking about this game yesterday, we were surprised to see that nobody was even a game-time decision when we were talking about the game. When we saw the 76ers team on the back-to-back, we thought at least James Harden or Joel Embiid, one of the two, would take the game off for kind of load management, and then come game time, they both took the day off. So, once again, betting in the NBA a little bit trickier this season because everybody kind of, not putting out the official lineups until, like, game time scenario, like, really kind of up until game time. We're not even kind of getting game time decisions for any of these players until, once again, kind of game time when they're making that decision of who's in and who out. So, when we're making our picks and making our bets at kind of, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 12:30, 12:45 Eastern time, a lot shifts between the end of our show and until closing time on when you can bet and all that. So once again, the one of the biggest keys of betting the NBA is to truly wait until game time, about 15-20 minutes before tip-off, of locking in and securing your picks, because anything can happen. James Harden, Joel Embiid, no goes yesterday when we really had no idea up until game time. So, 76ers last night, Tyrese Maxey, man, oh man, that man was clutch. That man was fantastic. Big time late scores in the fourth quarter, helping the 76ers team win. So, stop disrespecting Tyrese Maxey. Yes, this is a big three of Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Tyrese Maxey. He does help make up the big three here for the 76ers. So, no disrespect here by no disrespect towards Tyrese Maxey, folks. Respect this man. He's absolutely fantastic. Tyrese Maxey last night, 28 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Very well done. We had Paul Millsap at the 5 points, 4 rebounds. Obviously not Joel Embiid-esque. Tobias Harris, 14 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds. It was an all right game by Tobias Harris. I really wanted to see Tobias Harris go manic in this game, kind of be the number 2 scorer, but we never really got that. And then Georges Niang in the starting lineup as well. Once again, a solid game. Would have loved to see him kind of step it up a little bit more. This is kind of what we get from the bench when he comes off the bench. 15 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds on 46% shooting. So we didn't get anything great by Georges Niang in the starting lineup. So a little disappointed there. But what I did like from last night, Shake Milton off the bench, 20 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. That's fantastic. And Furkan Korkmaz, 18 points, 6 rebounds, helping up off the bench as well. So all that was enough for the 76ers to win last night. And then for the Heat, man, oh man, losing last night, a little unacceptable. They shifted around the starting lineup a little bit last night. Jimmy Butler at the 2, Duncan Robinson at the 3, and that didn't really play well for Duncan Robinson. Jimmy Butler got it done, 27 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. That was very well done. But once again, Duncan Robinson, 6 points and only 6 shots, not being that offensive piece needed. He still, gets it done defensively. That's kind of the best thing about Duncan Robinson. But once again, this man is truly not a big offensive name. Once again, don't get caught up in the stat of him kind of leading the 3-point race here, the 3-point charge this season. It doesn't really show up on a game-by-game, nightly basis out here, and it's not helping the team. Being that efficient from 3 is not helping this Heat team win. So don't fall kind of in love with the overall stats of Duncan Robinson. We really don't see it have that much of a consistent impact for this Heat team. Bam Adebayo last night got it done, 22 points, 9 rebounds. Kyle Lowry got it done, 20 points, 6 assists. Tyler Hero, a little bit of a flounder job off the bench, 10 points, but on 0 of 3 from the 3 and 33% shooting on 15 shots. Usually we see Tyler Hero a lot better than that. And then Caleb Martin off the bench had a pretty solid night. I'll give him at 14 points on 66% shooting to help out the squad. Unfortunately, this Heat team not digging in deep in the fourth quarter to try and win the game. They lose by 7, 113-106. All right, next game up is the Jazz at the Nets, and the Nets take care of business with just Kevin Durant there out on the floor. And once again, this Jazz team, they're deep and they're healthy right now, folks, but they just don't win any kind of meaningful games consistently. So we've been dropping the Jazz in our power rankings ever since we kind of over-established them as the number 1 seed. So they end up losing last night, 114-106, a nice 8-point loss over the Nets last night. Kevin Durant, 37 points, 8 assists, 9 rebounds on 65% shooting. Man, oh man, Kevin Durant is back, folks. Love seeing it. Bruce Brown with a huge 22 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, helping out. Nicholas Claxton back at the 5, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. That's a pretty good night by Nicholas Claxton. Will definitely take that. And then Goran Dragic, 7 points, 7 assists, just kind of mediocre-ish. But finally, Patty Mills, and this may have been Patty Mills' best game of the year, folks. And it's only 13 points, 3 rebounds coming out the bench, but that's how lackluster he's been the entire season. So Kevin Durant truly kind of taking over and helping this Nets team win, because that's what superstars do. So shout out to Kevin Durant. But the Jazz, what the heck? They really should not be losing to this Nets team, honestly. Nobody should be losing to this Nets team with just Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving playing. When they're both playing, we can kind of understand the losses, but when it's just one out there, there's really no excuses. And I know Kevin Durant's so gosh dang good, and Kyrie Irving is so gosh dang good that they're able to overcome the lackluster players on their squad overall, but still, it's a real bad look when you're losing to this Nets team. So the Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, 30 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, a pretty good night by the man. Mike Conley, 18 points, 7 assists. Rudy Gobert, 11 points, 4 rebounds. What? Who are you having issues guarding last night? I don't get it. Real bad game by Rudy Gobert, minus 13 on the floor. Ooh, yikes. And then Juancho Hernangomez, 2 points in the starting lineup. Royce O'Neal, 2 points in the starting lineup. That will never get it done. Jordan Clarkson comes to the rescue off the bench like he always does. 19.6 rebounds, but other than that, nothing that great. Rudy Gay had 9 points. I think that's pretty solid, but other than that, nothing really good. So Jazz lose again. They'll do classic Jazz things in the playoffs, probably dominate the first round. Not look good round 2, probably get bounced round 2 and all that. So they'll underperform, underachieve like they always do. Nets get the win last night, 114-106. All right, next game up, probably the biggest surprise from last night. Raptors at the Bulls, and the Bulls get the win. Whoa, 14-point double-digit win. Bulls win 113-99 last night for the Bulls. DeMar DeRozan, 26 points, 5 rebounds. Zach LaVine, 26 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. Vucevic, 19 points, 13 rebounds. So the big three did their thing. Alex Caruso was back last night, so he's in the starting lineup at the starting one now. 7.6 rebounds on 28% shooting. Doing his thing, facilitating the floor like Caruso does. Leave to the big three to kind of score the points. So we got no problem there. Ayo coming off the bench, 11.6 assists. Kobe White coming off the bench, only 2 points, 4 assists. So now more guard play. Ayo and Kobe White both coming off the bench. And that's going to be a little trouble for some of these teams that they're going to be facing down the stretch. Bulls getting healthy at the right time, trying to shore everything up. We'll see if they start to turn a corner a little bit. And this is a real good starting spot of turning a corner, beating a solid overall Raptors team. No Gary Trent Jr. for the Raptors last night, so Scotty Barnes filling in at the 2. Once again, they are shifting the lineup. We just had Scotty Barnes at the 1, Siakam at the 3 2 nights ago. Now we got Fred VanVleet back at the 1. No Gary Trent Jr., so Scotty Barnes at the 2. So Pascal Siakam goes to the 4 last night. So once again, shifting everything around. Unfortunately, did not lead to a win last night by the Raptors, but still overall a solid game overall. It's a blowout at the end, 15-point win, so overall a blowout, but it was on the back-to-back. We give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Not too much, but a little bit. Little inch of benefit of the doubt last night. Fred VanVleet, 19 points, 9 assists, yes, sir. Scotty Barnes, 8 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Overall, a little bit lackluster. He was a minus 20 on the floor. That was the worst for the Raptors last night. And then Siakam at the 4, 22 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Just not enough to get it done. So we covered the Bulls already, so good there. So good to move off the game. Bulls get the win, 113-99. Final 3 games, here we go. Next game up, Wizards at the Rockets. Rockets get the win. How do the Wizards not beat this team? Come on. What are the Wizards looking like in the standings? Where are they in the play-in tournament standings? Currently the 11th seed. Got about 5 games out from the 10th seed to secure a play-in tournament, and you lose against the Rockets? I mean, this is what we're saying. We know the Wizards aren't a good team, and the Rockets aren't a good team, but I mean, at the end of the day, the Wizards still should have won this game. Once again, nothing matters. You could talk the sport, nothing matters. Bad teams will win here and there and look a little dominant. Christian Wood, we called this man out, what was it, yesterday on the show? They were on the back-to-back. Called this man out yesterday on the show for the lackluster performance, but he kind of, says, oh, I'm lackluster? Well, is this lackluster? 39-10, 39 points, 10 rebounds, and I'll tell you, folks, that is not lackluster. Very well done. The man shot 8 of 9 from the 3 last night. Wow, oh, wow. So Christian Wood finally establishing himself as a big, dominant big in this league, in the bigs world. So shout out to Christian Wood finally getting it together. Kevin Porter, 11 points, and then Jalen Green, 17 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds to help out the Rockets last night. For the Wizards, couldn't put it together. 2 kind of back-to-back wins together. No Kyle Kuzma last night, so Rui Hachimura fills in for him at the 4. He had 16 points, 8 rebounds. That's kind of Kyle Kuzma-esque, yeah. Porzingis, 22 points, 13 rebounds, trying his damnedest, but unfortunately just not enough to get it together down the stretch for the win. Rockets get the dominant 18-point win, 115-97. Alrighty, here we go. Whenever I see this team pop up on the screen, folks, I love it. I get so juiced. I get so gushable. I'm gushable talking about this Celtics team, folks. Love this team. Best team in the NBA, hands down. So, Celtics get the big win last night. It is just against the Thunder team, but we've seen this Thunder team be kind of competitive when it's just Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out there. So we still give this, Thunder team a little bit of credit, and any win's a good win with the Celtics taking care of business. We can never knock that. So, Celtics get a 9-point win, winning 132-123 last night over the Thunder. Jason Tatum does his thing, 36 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds on 57% shooting. Man, oh man. We had no Marcus Smart last night, so Jaylen Brown goes to the 1. Derrick White goes to the 2 last night. Jaylen Brown at the 1, 25 points, only 1 assist. That's kind of your job to facilitate the floor if you're going to play the 1. But overall, we'll definitely take those 25 points. Derrick White in the starting lineup, 18 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Yes, sir. And then Al Horford actually at the 5. No Robert Williams last night either. And Al Horford only 3 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Nothing fantastic overall, but holding it down enough for the win. Peyton Pritchard off the bench. Is this back-to-back good games by Peyton Pritchard? What is this? Is this bizarre world? We've never seen Peyton Pritchard put up back-to-back good performances ever in his career, and now he's getting it done. It's all coming together for the Celtics. I can't believe it. Even Daniel Tice was playing good last night, folks. Off the bench, 9 points, 8 rebounds. It's all coming together, and it's so beautiful, folks. The Celtics team is all just so beautiful. They're able to replace their starting lineup. No Marcus Smart, no Robert Williams, able to fill in from the bench and still get great bench production. Oh, it's beautiful, folks. It's music to my ears. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. And the Celtics, folks, #1 team in the NBA. You bet your bippy, folks. Yeah, I'm calling it now. What can I bet? Let me bet this. Celtics to win the entire thing. Celtics to win the championship, folks. Can we bet this, please? What are their odds? What are their odds? And look at this. Oh, great odds. They're disrespecting them, folks. Celtics to win the championship this season is at plus 1,200. Yes. Folks, they are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th highest odds to win, folks. You got to bump that up. They got to at least be top 3. If you don't want to put them at #1, that's fine. I kind of understand it a little bit. But at least top 3. Come on. The Warriors? Yeah, but you've got the Warriors over the Celtics. No. The Suns, the Nets, I can maybe kind of agree with. But no, not the Warriors. No, definitely got to put them at number 3. It goes Suns at plus 320 to win it. Nets at plus 475. Warriors at plus 600. No, you swap out the Celtics and the Warriors. Well, I guess don't do it until after we place the bet. Once we place the bet, then you can go and give us lesser odds. But give me that plus 1,200. Yeah. I'm going to throw some few bucks on that. Absolutely. Loving this Celtics team, folks. Respect the Celtics. Start watching the Celtics if you haven't. Celtics, folks. Getting it done. Well done last night, man, oh man. And I know what you're probably saying. Well, it's just against the Thunder. Why are you gushing that hard? This Thunder team plays hard. They play hard, folks. When it's just Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out there, he plays hard on his own, folks. So yeah, it may look like an easy competition, but no game's an easy game. We just saw that the Pistons lose. The Pistons lost today or last night, folks. Inexcusable that is to lose against the Blazers. It's unacceptable. Even for the Wizards to lose against the Rockets, it's unacceptable. So no win's an easy win. Every win is a tough out here. So don't knock the Celtics because, they just beat the Thunder. They didn't just beat the Thunder. They beat the Thunder shorthanded while the Thunder are good and competitive at least. Give this Celtics team credit. Love the Celtics. All right, and then who did they beat last night? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 31 points, 9 assists. Yeah, they beat that. That's tough to beat, and they beat that. Also, what's tough to beat a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going for 31 and 9, beating a Trey Mann going 35 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds to go along with that. And you know what's tougher than beating 2 35-point scores? 2 35-point scores with a third scorer going 22 points and 10 rebounds. And they still were able to overcome that, even with Aleksej Pokusevski coming up the bench of 19 points and 6 rebounds. They were able to overcome all of that on top of no Marcus Smart, on top of no Robert Williams, on top of Jaylen Brown having to play the 1, folks, on top of Peyton Pritchard being on the squad and having a fantastic performance. Celtics, Celtics, folks. The big C. Respect the big C. Celtics. Can y'all say it with me? Celtics. Love it. Love it. Love it. Celtics get the big win, 132-113, or 123. And then the final game of the night here, Timberwolves at the Mavericks. Close game. And Mavericks win by 2, 110-108. But once again, this is kind of like the Pelicans game against the Hornets. Yes, there is a loser at the end of the day, but we're still holding the losing team in a highlight, and we're not overreacting to this close loss. Timberwolves were good in this game. Unfortunately, the Mavericks win by 2 at home, 110-108. So the Mavericks getting it done. Luka Doncic, 15 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds. He only scored 15 points, 3 of 11 from the 3. A little bit of an abysmal shooting night from the 3, but they fell when they needed to, and they just had enough. Mavericks make 14 threes. Timberwolves only make 13 threes. They lose by 2 points. It's real close, folks. It was a real close game like that. So Mavericks able to kind of squeeze it out at the end. Jalen Brunson had 15 points. Dwight Powell at the 5, 22 points, 8 rebounds. He led the team in scoring. Magnificent. Dorian Finney-Smith, 15 points, 3 of 8 from the 3. Reggie Bullock, 18 points, 6 of 11 from the 3. And then we had Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench for the Mavericks. We've seen him be the hero, hitting those clutch shots. And off the bench last night, 20 points, 8 rebounds, even shooting 1 of 6 from the 3. It was enough to get it done. So the Mavericks scores showing out last night, enough to get the win. And then for the Timberwolves, let's start with the big 3. D'Angelo Russell, 18 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. Pretty solid night. Karl Anthony Towns, 22 points, 8 rebounds. Yeah, pretty solid night. And Anthony Edwards, 19 points. There we go. Back scoring high numbers. Not that efficient, 38% on 13 shots, but once again, it's better than 5 points, so we'll take it for now. 6 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with all that. Their kind of role players didn't really help out that much scoring. We had Jared Vanderbilt, only 4 points on 3 shots. Patrick Beverley shot 8 points on 20% shooting on 10 shots. That wasn't that great. Teron Prince helped out a little bit, 17 points coming off the bench. That helped out, but unfortunately just cannot get it done, losing by 2. But overall, Timberwolves being competitive, beating a good playoff caliber, being competitive against a good playoff caliber team in the Mavericks. We like the Mavericks and all that. We like the Timberwolves, and it's still looking like that. Now, unfortunately, the biggest outcome of losing the game last night, the Timberwolves fall from the 6th seed to the 7th seed. So back in the play-in tournament, we just celebrated the Timberwolves yesterday on the show for making it out of the gutter, making it out of the play-in tournament, but they're right back in there because they lost to the Mavericks last night. So hopefully the Timberwolves can get back to that 6th seed out of the play-in tournament. Every game matters here on out, folks. This is truly the home stretch here. Who's winning games? So, winning games is truly spectacular. That's kind of why, the Hornets are truly kind of trending up in our mind. So teams that are kind of pulling out these wins here at the end of the year, got to give them credit. Hawks have a nice opponent tonight. We'll talk about it in a minute when we talk about betting the NBA tonight. But the Hawks have something coming up today that's going to be kind of a hard game to win. And if they win it, they're definitely going to kind of be moving up in our eyes a little bit if they win. So winning at the end of the year, folks, it's a must. It's a must. It's a must. Secure your playoff positioning, secure your playoff berth, and not having to fight for it in the play-in tournament. We're at the home stretch, folks, so we'll see who closes it out. Alrighty, so that was all the NBA from last. One thing. Hey, what is this? What is this up here? Twitter? Oh, I got Twitter up here. No. That's not the right thing. Okay. All right, so yeah, that is all of the NBA we had to go over for today. So let's talk about the NBA betting-wise tonight. There's only 4 games on, so let's see if we can get a little bit of value here, and let's do a little bit better than yesterday. Yes, let's have this be the day to get back on track since it wasn't there yesterday. All right, here we go. First game up, Warriors at the Magic. Warriors minus 7.5, Magic plus 7.5. All right. I was ready to take the Warriors minus 7.5 until I saw this. Steph Curry is out, so no thank you there. Definitely got to see Steph Curry on the squad if we're ever going to bet them. Yes, I'm sure Klay Thompson and Andrew and Draymond Green can hold it down against this Magic team, but we're not going to be betting it. So staying away from this one, absolutely. For the Magic, everybody's good to go. Just Jalen Suggs is out. So, gonna stay away from this one. No Steph Curry, no thank you for us. Then we get the Hawks and the Knicks, folks. Hawks at the Knicks. Hawks -3, Knicks +3. Big matchup here. It's on television, TNT on at 7:30, folks. Big time game here for the Hawks. Rematch of the playoffs. It's in Madison Square Garden, so the Knicks fans, the Bing Bong fans, are going to be all out in full force to knock Trae Young once again in the playoffs last season. All the fuck Trae Young chants while Trae Young was absolutely dogging that team. Big time shot after big time clutch shot after big time three after big time ice Trae shivering shots, because that's what Trae Young was last season. Haven't really seen too much of that this season, but it's gonna get loud. It's gonna get rowdy at Madison Square Garden tonight. So let's see if there's any good value either way you slice it. So Hawks -3, Knicks +3. For the Hawks tonight, we get Lou Williams is out, Bogdanovich a game time decision, and John Collins is out. So those are some pretty important pieces for this Hawks team. All right, and then for the Knicks, Julius Randle is out. Oh, my God, that's going to hurt. Well, they don't got any good guard play, so it's definitely going to hurt the team. Absolutely. No Julius Randle, who was kind of their second best starter. No good guard play, so it's really just going to fall on R.J. Barrett's shoulders to get it done. So how do we bet this game tonight? Both teams missing kind of key pieces. These are key pieces for both teams, obviously with Julius Randle, but same thing with Lou Williams and potentially Bogdanovich being out. So missing some key players. Knicks have been trashed this entire season, kind of caught fire a little bit as of recently, made us cancel our sponsorship with the Knicks. And then for the Hawks, they've just been abysmal all season as well. So how do we bet this game? Hawks -3, the Knicks +3, the fans chanting against Trae Young. I think I'm going to have to stay away from it. If I, put a gun to my head, I go Hawks -3 here. But the Hawks haven't shown us anything. And how is Trae Young going to respond to the New York fans? And how are the Knicks going to respond with no Julius Randle? Do they play a little bit more free? A little bit more free on the floor with no Julius Randle kind of slowing down the momentum, the play, stopping ball and all that? So I would love to bet this game, folks. Absolutely. Bet against the Knicks is always, a smart investment. But I don't know if we can tonight. I don't know if I've seen enough where I can swallow 3. You give me the Hawks +3, Knicks -3, Hawks +3 at home. Yeah, that's easy. I take the Hawks plus the points. But I have to swallow with the Hawks here. I don't know if I can do that. So big game here. We're going to stay away from it. It's going to get rowdy, folks. I definitely recommend watching this game just for that alone. The rowdiness that's going to be going on at Madison Square Garden. Trae Young, sink or swim. Once again, Trae Young still fighting for a spot here. Currently, the Hawks are the 10th seed, Knicks the 12th seed. They're about 5 games back, so the Knicks must win this game to try to get in the play-in tournament. Hawks must win this game to kind of prove that, hey, we can at least win games out here at the back end of the season, get a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum rolling for their play-in tournament game that's probably coming up. So, gonna stay away from this game overall, but I'm on a little bit leaning towards the side of Hawks -3, but we're not gonna bet it tonight. All right, then we get the Bulls at the Bucks. Bulls on the back-to-back. We'll stay away from it, but hey, everything kind of coming together for the Bulls. They're getting healthy at the right time, so maybe they can make a little bit of a statement here of being competitive against the Bucks. And then for the Bucks, we get Chris Middleton out and Giannis a game-time decision. So if the Bucks do win, there's going to be a little asterisk with this, or if the Bulls do win, it'll be a little bit of an asterisk here because there is no Chris Middleton. But hey, take care of business, absolutely. We'll see what the Bulls do, but they are on the back-to-back, so we'll stay away from it. And then the last game of the night here, Clippers at the Nuggets. Clippers +6.5. Nuggets -6.5 here. For the Clippers, everybody's good to go. Just the usual suspects out. For the Nuggets, everybody's good to go. Just the usual suspects out here. So Nuggets, they're very good. We like this Nuggets team a lot. But this Clippers team, they kind of come out of nowhere and be competitive. They're on a 3-game losing streak, so it probably doesn't come here. Or maybe it does come here. It's the perfect time. So, man, oh man, man, nothing great tonight, and I think we're staying away from everything. Tonight, folks. Man, oh man, these last two nights in the NBA have not kind of, well, we could say this. Vegas has truly not been welcoming us back, betting the NBA with open arms. Not giving any, kind of easy, great, disrespectful value. Nothing really great. A lot of players out, kind of trying to do load management before the playoffs start. 7-game series. There's no load management in a 7-game series. So some key players being out, no great value, back-to-backs, ruining, betting in the NBA. So we're going to stay away from betting in the NBA tonight, folks. We'll try to catch it back tomorrow. Can't make any promises, but yeah, nothing's really looking good to us, really at all. So staying away from everything. 4 games on. Clippers, Nuggets on national television tonight. Yeah, doubleheader on TNT. So, hey, at least we get to watch some nationally televised basketball. Definitely interested in the Hawks in the next game. We'll see how the Clippers and Nuggets do. Probably just watch that one just to watch it, but probably not going to be the most entertaining, exciting game. But we'll see if the Clippers make it a game. All right, so staying away from everything betting-wise in the NBA tonight. Truly unfortunate. Maybe we pick out a player prop. Maybe we do that. So stick around to our to our Twitter for that information at Takes by Fans. Maybe we'll mess around and do a prop bet. Maybe we'll do that. Points plus rebounds plus assists. Y'all know we love them. Don't have enough time to search for one today during the show, but maybe we do one on our own time and we send it out for you. Got to do something. Can't do nothing. Can we do nothing? Is that a right to do nothing? Is that a right to take a day off of betting? I guess it's going to have to be. So, staying away from that, staying away from it. Alrighty, that is all the NBA we had to go over for today. So now let's shift gears to the NFL, where there's some quarterback news to talk about. It's like every day we're getting big quarterback news, and it's not just, regular quarterback news where, backup quarterbacks changing scenery, or just kind of lower end, like a Jared Goff changing a new team. That's always kind of expected every single year. No. We're getting Russell Wilson. We're getting Matt Ryan. We're getting a little bit of Carson Wentz, but he's kind of, deserved to be, passed around the league here. But we're getting big names here, folks. Big names coming off the board. Big names changing teams. Legacy kind of face of the franchise guys changing teams. And we're getting it almost on a weekly basis. Definitely on a weekly basis. Almost on a daily basis now. So let's talk about what just transpired in the quarterback world in the NFL last night, folks. And the first one up, the biggest news is Matt Ryan being traded from the Falcons and going to the Indianapolis Colts, folks. The Colts giving it another crack at trying to have that quarterback plug and play away from really winning it all. We've been saying it, folks, ever since we started the show. We started this show, folks, when Phillip Rivers was coming into the Colts, and we were talking about the Colts being a plug-and-play quarterback away. We didn't think Phillip Rivers was going to be the guy, because Phillip Rivers has never been the guy to, get long playoff runs and get to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. So we didn't love the Phillip Rivers. And then they tried their hand. Well, Phillip Rivers couldn't get it done. He's retiring. We got to go to another quarterback that has potential big-time capabilities in him. And at the time, it was Carson Wentz. He was coming off his worst season with the Eagles, 15 interceptions, everybody making a big stink about it, but he still had this allure to his name. Hey, when I'm healthy, I can lead us to some really great things, and the Colts bought into that. They bring him in for a season and all that. Surely crumbled week 18, not beating the Jaguars. Womp womp. And now the Colts are back at it, finding their potential Super Bowl stud out here, and they trade for Matt Ryan and only give up a 3rd-round pick. Abso-mother-loving-lutely, folks, the Colts won the trade. Absolutely 100%. Falcons have really nothing to show for this trade. They did bring in a new quarterback. We'll talk about that in a second here, but Matt Ryan no longer a dirty bird. He is now an Indianapolis Colt. ice cold Matt Ryan now in ice blue Colts. Yeah, I'm kind of liking it. Out of the NFC into the AFC. Yeah, I kind of like that for Matt Ryan. And kind of the biggest thing to get hype on Matt Ryan for this, or especially Colts fans to get big on Matt Ryan for this quarterback to finally be the quarterback. I know Colts fans, y'all have been drained over the last 3 years. You got excited for Phillip Rivers. I'm sure y'all went out and bought a Rivers jersey. Why? And I can't even blame y'all. Of course, you should get excited for Phillip Rivers. I get it. Didn't pan out. And then you got excited for Carson Wentz because he showed you some really great things. When he was healthy, he led that Eagles team to the playoffs before he got injured, and they won the Super Bowl. So that Super Bowl kind of run for the Eagles, it all started with Carson Wentz. So Colts fans getting excited on Carson Wentz, and man, oh man, I feel so bad for the Colts fans. Ooh, that one did not really end well. And I know y'all are probably, I can't get excited again. I can't waste all this energy. I can't spend another $100 on a quarterback jersey for the Colts. And I get it, folks. I get it. But I think this is different, because Matt Ryan has actually gotten to a Super Bowl himself. Phillip Rivers, he never got to a Super Bowl. Carson Wentz, he helped the team get to the Super Bowl, but no, Matt Ryan is the quarterback that got his team to a Super Bowl. So y'all are climbing that kind of ladder. You took a great, just regular season stat padding quarterback with Phillip Rivers, then you upgraded a little bit to a Carson Wentz who got his team to the Super Bowl, or helped his team get to a Super Bowl, and now you're at Matt Ryan, who got his team himself to a Super Bowl. So that alone, I think, should kind of reinvigorate the Colts fandom around here of trying to sink another $100 into a quarterback jersey here for the Colts. But another thing with this is that Matt Ryan has never had an offensive-minded head coach with them. He started 2008, folks, with Mike Smith, and Mike Smith is a defensive guy. Started as a defensive coordinator before he got the head coaching job at the Falcons in 2008. Started as a defensive coordinator with the Jags, always around the defense. So Matt Ryan never had an offensive-minded head coach at the head coaching position for the Falcons. Yes, he had Kyle Shanahan, who was a very good offensive coordinator, don't get us wrong, but it's, once again, is different. The head coach has, responsibility of the team and the roster and the personnel. So yeah, Kyle Shanahan was good for Matt Ryan, not good in the Super Bowl, kind of, got a little bit too big for himself there, Kyle Shanahan, and we've seen that again. So maybe, for Colts fans out there that are a little reluctant to Matt Ryan, well, we got to Super Bowl but couldn't close it out. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit more on Kyle Shanahan overall. But back to the point of the head coaches here, Mike Smith, head coach for Matt Ryan for basically his entire career, and then who do they go to next? Dan Quinn, once again, defensive-minded guy, not getting it done, not helping out, not improving this Falcons offense really any. I mean, we really didn't see Matt Ryan do anything good under those Dan Quinn years. They got to the playoffs, I think, once, and that was because of the defense. Dan Quinn got it done defensively year one. Defense got worse every single year after that. And then they went to Arthur Smith, who is an offensive-minded guy, but it was 1 year. We don't put too much stock into that 1 year. We never really saw, Arthur Smith do anything kind of revolutionary. We never saw this Falcons offense be better than what it was with Dan Quinn. So really, Matt Ryan has really never had a full kind of opportunity with an offensive-minded head coach. And now he goes to the Colts with Frank Reich, who is offensive-minded. So I think for those two reasons right there, Colts fans should get rejuvenated, start re-gushing. What? Yeah, you get your heart broken. Who cares? That's life. You get your heart broken, but that's going to stop you from getting excited? You don't get not excited, Colts fans. I want to see that joy back. I want to see that enthusiasm back. I want to see that kind of positivity back. I want to see that, I'm looking for the specific word, pessimist, optimist. I want to see that optimism back, folks. Please, Colts fans, don't kind of be, I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't want y'all to wait till week 18 to get hype. I want y'all to get hype now. Get hype now. There's teams that can't even get hype. If you're a Cowboys fans, there's no way you can get hyped about this offseason. But Colts fans, come on. Can you come back? Come back to the light side. Come back to the optimism side. Colts fans, please, please, please. This is the time you should get excited. I think this is going to be the year for Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan's stats, folks, they're very, very good. I mean, Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins kind of the same a little bit, where they're a little bit of an enigma, where the stats are so good, but the wins aren't quite there. Now, Matt Ryan does have more wins than, Kirk Cousins. So once again, it's not the exact same. Kirk Cousins is the biggest anomaly, the biggest enigma in the league, and Matt Ryan a little bit of baby enigma, a little bit of baby enigma off of Kirk Cousins. But overall, relatively the same point being made here. Matt Ryan's stats are incredible. And one of the most incredible stats here is these 4,000-yard seasons. Y'all know we love 4,000-yard passing season by quarterbacks. We 3,000, 3,500, 3,700, 3,800, 3,900 yards doesn't really move the needle for me. I know that moves the needle for a lot of people in the sports media, but under 4,000 yards has never really impressed me from a quarterback standpoint. So the fact that Matt Ryan has, count them with me, folks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 back to back. These are not just 10 4,000-yard seasons scrambled in his career. No. These are 10 consecutive back to back 4,000-yard seasons, folks. That's so gosh damn impressive to me, folks. And I almost couldn't believe it. I had to double check these numbers yesterday when the trade went through, but man, oh man, how absolutely spectacular. 4,700, and these aren't just 4,000, 4,100, 4,005, 4,006 yards, 4,000 4,000.00001 yards. No. These are 41, 47, 45, 46, 45, 49, 4,900, 4,095, 4,900 again, 4,000, 4,500, 4,400, folks. I mean, he's getting it done. He's throwing over 4,000. These are magnificent passing numbers. Now, the records with all these 4,000 yards. This is where we get into a little bit of an enigma. How you go 4-12 throwing 4,500 yards? How you go 6-10 throwing 4,600 yards? How you go 8-8 throwing 4,500 yards? Now, we also went 11-5, throwing 4,900, but still only 11-5? No 12-4? No 13-3, throwing 4,900, almost 5,000 yards? Even that in itself, it looks good. That should be good. 11-5 should be a good record, but when you're throwing 4,900 yards, it's a little lackluster, a little bit of an enigma. How the hell do you even only win 11 games? Throwing 4,900 yards, that should be at minimum 12 wins right there. Then we get 7-9, 7-8, 4-12. So yes, the record overall, but once again, Matt Ryan's a good passer overall. We're going to kind of check that. We're going to watch some highlights from this season on Matt Ryan just to kind of make sure everything's looking good, the accuracy, the arm strength, all that. Let's kind of re-gauge it with Matt Ryan. And really kind of the only problem with Matt Ryan is really we don't have any big-time throws. Like, we don't have any kind of big-time, like, career-defining throws by Tom Brady that kind of truly cements his greatest of all time status. We really don't have, like, any big-time play by Matt Ryan that you can kind of point back to and be like, this was Matt Ryan. Like, you show one play, like, this was Matt Ryan. We don't really have that by him. So I think that kind of, hurts him a little bit. Overall is not having those kind of big signature plays that he makes over and over again. So I want to watch some highlights to see what Matt Ryan was doing this season. What is his arm strength looking like? Are we still getting 55, 50 yards by him? Accuracy, all that. But, some of the lackluster records here is because he doesn't have an offensive-minded coach. So all I'm saying, Colts fans, is please try to be optimism here. Be optimists, folks. Have some optimism for yourself because, these are some great numbers. Now, the biggest maybe issue with these numbers, and you never hear this on Matt Ryan. You never hear this as a knock of Matt Ryan. First of all, nobody ever really knocks Matt Ryan, and that's the power of just getting to a Super Bowl. That's what it does for you. Like, as long as you got to a Super Bowl, nobody will really ever question you. Nobody will really ever knock you. That's just if you get to a Super Bowl. That's why we always say, yeah, we would obviously love for you to win a Super Bowl, whatever, player we're talking about. But as long as you get to a Super Bowl, we can still give you a ton of credit for that. a la Aaron Rodgers. All we really need to see is him getting back to one more Super Bowl, and his greatest of all time argument goes from 0% dead in the dust as of right now, at least to minimum 10% viability of him being the greatest quarterback of all time. That's what getting to a Super Bowl gets you, and what getting to a Super Bowl has gotten Matt Ryan is nobody talks about his interception numbers, folks. Nobody ever talks about this. This man is always throwing double-digit interceptions, which is kind of like a cardinal sin in the traditional national media. I give a little bit more play over here on interceptions. I just, I'm fine with double digits as long as we're kind of not approaching 20 plus. I can kind of, 15, 17 is kind of my mark where I'm starting to question and knock after kind of 15, 17, where in kind of the national traditional media, everybody kind of sets the bar at 10 because double digits, people don't love that double digit interception number. But y'all know how we feel about that. Risk it for the biscuit. Take those deep shots. Believe in your arm strength. Believe in your talent. Believe in your accuracy. Believe in your receiver. Give your receiver a chance to make the play. And at some of those points, those are going to turn into interceptions. And it's going to be unfortunate, but we just hope that more of the time they turn into big gains, touchdowns, instead of incompletions and interceptions. But, we still give more play for interceptions over here, where the national traditional media really doesn't. But, once again, in the national traditional media, nobody knocks Matt Ryan for these interceptions. Everybody was knocking Carson Wentz for throwing 15. Oh, the man shouldn't be kicked off the Eagles, which he kind of was. Oh, this man should never have a career again because he threw 15 interceptions. That's absurd. That's blasphemous. He should never have a career in the league anymore. But Matt Ryan's out here throwing 17, 14, 16, 12, always kind of around 12-ish. 12 to 14 is kind of the average that he throws a season, and you never hear people about that. When was the last time y'all heard something about Matt Ryan's interceptions? I can tell you I haven't heard anything about Matt Ryan's interceptions in probably 5 years. And that's why I was so surprised. Once again, heard the news of Matt Ryan breaking, getting traded to the Colts. So, once again, I'm just looking at the numbers. I haven't looked at, there's been no reason to look at Matt Ryan over the last kind of 3 years because the lackluster records overall, really, there's really no reason to even look into Matt Ryan since 2018. He's gone 7-9, 7-8, 4-12, and 7-10 ever since 2018. So really, there's been no reason to look at Matt Ryan's stats over the last 4 years. That's what prompted me to look at these numbers because he got traded. And I was like, yeah, this man does throw a lot of interceptions. And you would never know because nobody in the national media harps on his numbers because he got to a Super Bowl. Winning cures all, everybody. If you're winning, we can overlook some things. And if you got to a Super Bowl, we can overlook some things. And that's why it's just so bizarre to me that y'all just clown and knock Jimmy Garoppolo every single second when that man has gotten to a Super Bowl. When this man is always getting you into the playoffs. When this man is always clutching it up at kind of the best spots, in the regular season. He's doing all this. And he even got to a Super Bowl, and y'all are still knocking him. So I just don't get the unwavering support of Matt Ryan, but then the overall knockability on Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't get it. I think there is a little bit of a disconnect there. But back to Matt Ryan, folks, these interception numbers, these are a lot. According to y'all, these are a lot of interceptions. I don't mind them. Like I said, 15 to 17, that's where I'm starting to put my cap. So Matt Ryan doesn't really do that much. He had 117 interception season in 2013. That was the highest. He had 16 in 2015, but, I don't think these interception numbers are that alarming here. Now, the touchdown numbers, I think, are a little bit light as well. We've gotten like 2, 3, 30 or more touchdown passing seasons, and in today's league where it's all passing, we just had Tom Brady throw 50 plus. Really, that's the bar now. Everybody should be throwing kind of at minimum 50 touchdowns, but kind of 20 to 25 touchdown passes in a season has never really impressed me. I really have to start to see 30, and that's kind of where we have a little bit of disconnect here with Matt Ryan not being the greatest overall. These touchdown numbers are a little light. Now, once again, not getting all those big-time receiving pieces for Matt Ryan. Only really had Julio Jones his entire career because of defensive-minded head coaches not getting and not spending on the offensive side of the ball. So, on that aspect, we can give Matt Ryan a little bit of the benefit of the doubt as well. But, overall, folks, I think Colts fans, especially, there's big-time reasons to get big-time excited and to be big-time optimistic that Matt Ryan is going to be the guy to finally bring it all together. It wasn't Phillip Rivers. It wasn't Carson Wentz. It could be Matt Ryan, though, and I'm kind of rooting for Matt Ryan now. This offseason has kind of been a little bizarre for me. I'm out here rooting for Matt Ryan. I never thought I would do that. And now, and I also want to set the record straight a little bit here, because all this Baker talk over the last week and a half here, I am not a Baker rooter for. I'm not a Baker fan. I'm not a Baker homer or anything like that, folks. I want to reiterate this because this could have gotten lost in the translation over the last kind of week and a half. We have been kind of defending Baker, but we're only defending Baker because y'all have been so harsh on Baker that we have to kind of stand behind him and kind of defend him a little bit, just so it's all even. It washes out even, because y'all are going kind of going brutal on Baker Mayfield, and we don't like Baker Mayfield. We don't think he's that great. We know he's definitely not clutch, but we don't think he's as bad as y'all are saying. So I don't want to get it twisted here, folks. We are not supporters of Baker. We can potentially see maybe some good things out of him, but we're not over here supporting Baker, having Baker on the canvas, on the wall, on the flag, hat, Baker jersey. No. The man is still not that great overall. I want to make that perfectly clear. Baker Mayfield is still not that good, folks. Not that good. Not clutch, and that's the biggest thing. He's not clutch at all. But he doesn't deserve that level of disrespect that y'all are kind of showing. So yes, we have been defending Baker and coming to his defense, but it's for rightful reasons, because y'all are just kind of going a little bit too extreme on him. So that's the only reason why we're defending Baker. Not because he's good, but because y'all are kind of being a little bit too extreme on the man. Whereas Matt Ryan, the man has just kind of been here. Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan. Over the last 10 years. Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan. Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan's in the league. You would forget about it if nobody brought it up. Oh, yeah, your listing quarterbacks. You got Matt Ryan. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Tom Brady. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got this. You got that. Did I miss anybody? You're naming all the quarterbacks. Oh, you got 31 out of the 32 starting quarterbacks. Who am I missing? What's the last one? Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan. Oh, of course, Matt Ryan. Somebody prompts you. Oh, Matt Ryan. Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan. That's been Matt Ryan, literally, the last 10 years, folks. Just lost in the shuffle. Nothing good. Nothing that bad. Numbers are pretty good. Kirk Cousins-esque. Win totals, Kirk Cousins-esque, not in the good way. So, Matt Ryan going to the Indianapolis Colts, folks. I think there's reasons to get excited. I think between Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan's the best quarterback of those three. So, once again, this is the year to go ahead, spend that $100, get that Matt Ryan Colts jersey. If it's only for a year, yes, that's unfortunate, but it may not be. It may, folks. It's hard to win a ring, especially in the AFC now, man. Oh, man, Matt Ryan, probably the worst time to move from the NFC to the AFC. Unfortunate there. But at the end of the day, why not? Why not? Why not him? Why not him? Why not him? Why not now? Yes? Why not him? Why not now? Joe Burrow just got there. Matt Ryan can't do it. Why not him? Why not now? Colts fans, go out and buy that Colts jersey. Yes, come on, folks. Yes, what more do I got to say for y'all to make that purchase? Go ahead and make that purchase of Matt Ryan, Ice Trey Ryan jersey. Go ahead, Matty Ice, get that Matty Ice jersey. Go ahead. Matt Ryan, Colts jersey, go and get it, folks. Go out and buy it. Support the man. He needs your support. He already knows there's probably going to be a little bit of backlash here just because, third quarterback in 3 years. This is going to be the guy now. The guy that lost in the Super Bowl. This is the guy. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to Matt Ryan, folks. Embrace him. Welcome him with big open arms and have that blue ice Matt Ryan jersey on while you embrace him. Yes, folks? Go out and spend that $100 on a Matt Ryan jersey. I might buy one. I might fuck around and buy a Matt Ryan jersey, folks. Shoot. I might love it. So, Matt Ryan goes to the Indianapolis Colts, folks, and, looking pretty. I'm kind of high on this trade here. I think that was the right choice. And once again, playing back to Baker Mayfield, of course the Colts weren't going to be trading for Baker Mayfield, folks. Of course, we knew that, folks. We never bought into that. That was always talking that, they're going to get, no, why? Once again, they got swindled by Carson Wentz. They're not going to get swindled by Baker Mayfield. And at least Matt Ryan's showing you what he does. Hey, my numbers are good. Wins, that's going to be a team decision, and that that is true. Teams get the wins, but my numbers are, they kind of speak for themselves. I've gotten to a Super Bowl. My resume a little bit speaks for itself a little bit. If Urban Meyer was the head coach, Urban Meyer really couldn't be questioning that much of Matt Ryan's resume. He'd be like, yeah, these numbers check out. These numbers do check out. All right, everybody's exempt from showing me your credentials except Matt Ryan. Everybody else pass up those credentials forward because I got to comb over them with a fine-tooth comb. Luckily, Urban Meyer no longer in the league. Thank goodness. But, we never bought Baker to the Colts. It made no sense in any universe, in any scenario you thought, oh, Baker Mayfield to the Colts. If however you wanted to try to connect the dots, well, you got this, and this. Oh, that's how you, no. Of course, he was never going to the Colts, folks. They needed somebody better, and they got somebody better, somebody a little bit more proven. He's more proven, and they go out and get Matt Ryan and not Baker Mayfield, folks. Okay, let's relax on the Baker stuff. Because once again, folks, y'all are going wild on Baker like Baker's good. Like, I just don't get the complete 180 of now y'all are saying Baker's good. It made no sense. But we digress. We talked to that to exhaustion, and we'll still be talking about it, I'm sure, until the deed happens of where he goes. And once again, we kind of said this yesterday on the show, Baker Mayfield to the Lions, I think, is probably the best landing spot for him. No pressure on anybody. He isn't. I think I'm comfortable saying that at least. Baker Mayfield is better than Jared Goff. I give Baker Mayfield the nod over Jared Goff. I've seen enough of Jared Goff. Yeah, I think we've seen enough. The fact that, you get thrown to the curb in 1 year and they already win a ring, I mean, that speaks to Jared Goff not being good. So, yeah, I take Baker Mayfield over Jared Goff. So, once again, I think the Lions make the most sense. Seattle never makes that much sense to me. You don't replace Russell Wilson with Baker Mayfield. I mean, come on, what are we doing? So, Baker Mayfield to the Lions is really the only thing that makes sense to me. I'm surprised a lot more people aren't talking about it, but I swear to goodness, folks, if Baker Mayfield goes to the Lions, I'm going to go on strike from doing the show, folks. I'm going to need a little respect. I'm going to need a little credit. I'm not talking about a ton of credit where I need to be kind of, on a giant pedestal with everybody shouting, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. That'd be great. Honestly, that'd be great if y'all could do that, but I'm not asking for that. Just a little credit. Hey, you know what you're talking about. Just one random person, hey, you know what you're talking about. That's all I want, folks. That's all I want. So if Baker Mayfield does get traded to the Lions, we're the only one talking about that, folks, honestly, and I want the credit for it. So I will go on strike of the show if that happens until I get a little bit of credit. That's all I'm asking for. A little bit of, oh yeah, you know what you're talking about. That's all I want, folks. That's all I want. You know what you're talking about. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. One person tells me, hey, you know what you're talking about. That's all I need. We're back at the show live noon Eastern every single day like nothing happened. Yes, folks, so be prepared for that because I think it's going to happen, folks. I'm loving, I just can't stop thinking about it. Ever since I brought that up on the show yesterday, it just makes more and more and more and more and more and more and more sense. One second, folks. Hello? Okay, copy. Yep. Okay, so there's that, folks. Matt Ryan goes to the Colts, and if Baker Mayfield gets traded to the Lions, I will be on strike until I get a little bit of credit. And I'm not playing, folks. I'm getting my credit. This has been great over the last year and 8 months, year and 7 months, however long it's been. I enjoy doing it every day, but we do want a little bit of credit. So we don't want to, everyone thinking that we're crazy. We get a lot of oh, you're crazy comments all over on Twitter and YouTube. It's a little bit of enough of that, folks. But we digress. But yeah, we just want a little bit of credit. What's wrong with giving people a little bit of credit? I'm not out here begging for credit. I'm not out here every day begging for credit. No, a little bit of credit. A little bit of credit now and then. Never hurt. And I'm hurt. I'm hurting for a little credit over here. Just give me a little bit of gosh dang credit, please. All right. So, Matt Ryan to the Colts. I am loving it. Are we loving it, folks? I'm loving it. I think I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Are y'all loving it, Colts fans? Once again, please be optimistic. Please love it, folks. Go out and buy the jersey. All right, and because Matt Ryan went to the Colts, now we know Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to the Colts here. And we got this. Here we go. Per Diana of ESPN, she says, the reason the Colts did not trade for Jimmy Garoppolo is that there were concerns over his shoulder, not medically, but being ready for the offseason and timetable of adapting to a new team. And exactly that. We've been keeping big close eye on Jimmy Garoppolo. every single, piece of information that's coming out about him. Once again, 2-3 weeks ago, Adam Schefter being saying, hey, this is not a home run anymore. Jimmy Garoppolo may not be traded. And then we heard about, hey, him, being able to throw for 17 weeks and all that. And we're like, hey, who's going to take a chance on him? So once again, Jimmy Garoppolo may stay a 49er. I think that's the best decision for everybody involved, for the 49ers, for the 49ers fans. I think I have to save the 49ers fans from themselves because everybody's ready to kind of start Trey Lance. And I really don't think that man is ready to play or will ever be ready to play. Jimmy Garoppolo's clutch. He still shows some great things about him. Yes, he needs to improve a little bit. I understand. I agree. But the man's never had any kind of A1, tier 1 wide receivers around him where he can just go and ball out. He needs the running game. He needs the defense. He needs a Deebo Samuel type gadget player to help him out because he doesn't have the kind of standalone 6'3", go out, go deep, streak route every time, A1, tier 1 wide receivers on his team. He does not have the help. So, Jimmy Garoppolo staying with the 49ers, I think is the best decision. 49ers fans don't want it. I'm here to save y'all from yourselves out here. And once again, we've been kind of saying this for the last couple of weeks. Hey, we don't even want Jimmy Garoppolo to be traded. We don't think the 49ers would be better off without Jimmy Garoppolo. And now we're getting teams passing on him because of the shoulder, not the injury, but him being ready from the injury, him getting back healthy from the injury. It's a big timetable for a new team, and that's kind of, hurting some teams of truly going out and committing 100% to him. So don't get the idea that Jimmy Garoppolo is going anywhere, and I think that's the best thing for the 49ers, and I kind of think Kyle Shanahan wants that to happen. I don't think Kyle Shanahan wants to move off of Jimmy G. I think he's getting pressure from the fan base. I don't know how much of the owner, John Lynch, the general manager, John Lynch, and all of that, I don't know how much they truly want to move off of Jimmy G, and, once again, we're getting that, teams are getting everybody besides Jimmy G at quarterback. So Jimmy G off the 49ers, it's not a slam dunk, and I don't think it happens anymore, folks. All right, and now we get this, and this could be interesting. OBJ tweets out when Matt Ryan goes to the Colts, and this is what OBJ says, and he's a free agent, so hey. OBJ says, quote, on the tweet, says, random thought. Bruh, I really think Matt Ryan to the Colts was actually fire. We agree, OBJ. I think bruh will elevate and do some special over there. Yeah, do something special over there, yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of like it. Matt Ryan out of the NFC, into the AFC. We see it be different. Tom Brady had no problem going from the AFC to the NFC. Won a ring year one, no problem. I think Matt Ryan can have that potential success as well going from the NFC to the AFC. Once again, you give him an offensive-minded head coach. Hey, we're all about the offense here, baby. Offense. AFC, you got to be all about the offense. Talking about, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Matt Ryan now, Patrick Mahomes, Tua. Don't forget about Tua, folks. And I already can't, once again, folks, how everything is already kind of getting revisionist history on us already. Once again, a lot of the Baker Mayfield things. Everybody having wild opinions about Baker Mayfield that nobody had 2 months ago. So, once again, we want to get our final thoughts down, and I don't even want to imagine, because I already can kind of imagine already what y'all are going to be saying about Tua come a month, 2 months from now, and how bad he is. So, I got to mentally prepare myself from that, folks, for that, because I see how crazy y'all have already gotten this offseason. So I know that's coming, but there's a lot of great quarterbacks in the AFC. Tua is one of them, but there are a lot of great quarterbacks in the AFC. So Matt Ryan is going to have to kind of do his thing and be on his bullshit here. But OBJ, maybe going to the Colts, maybe helping out, teaming up with Matt Ryan if he believes Matt Ryan's going to be so gosh dang good. If bruh's going to be so gosh dang good over there in Indianapolis, maybe OBJ joins them. So, still a free agent. We'll see where OBJ goes, but he's endorsing Matt Ryan to the Colts. Kind of interesting. Alrighty, but that was not the only quarterback news. When your team loses a quarterback, they got to get a quarterback, and that's exactly what the Falcons did. They wasted no time of getting Matt Ryan's replacement, and the Falcons have agreed to a 2-year deal with quarterback Marcus Mariota, and we love it. We love Marcus Mariota going to the Falcons. We've been gushing for Marcus Mariota to get another second chance at a starting job ever since 2020, folks. Week 15 versus the Chargers. In this game right here is truly the main reason, maybe the only reason, Marcus Mariota has a job right now. now. He's only started one game, really only played in one. He played in a couple of other games here, just running the ball, never really throwing the ball. But this was the only game where Marcus Mariota played kind of the entire game, but he played the entire game out here and looked really good while doing so. Didn't win. Only threw a 60% completion percentage, but we saw some great things out of Marcus Mariota. So I do kind of want to watch these highlights. We can have this on the background when we're talking, but this is the reason Marcus Mariota has a job. The Week 15 game against the Chargers, where he was going toe-to-toe with Justin Herbert, folks. Justin Herbert threw for 314 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they win 30-27, but Marcus Mariota kept the game competitive. That's pretty gosh dang good against Justin Herbert. No, it's pretty good at minimum. And this was 2 years ago, folks. 2020, the end of 2020. So Marcus Mariota throwing on the run, an absolute dime on the left sideline. Yes, sir. Working with his weapons. Look at this. Look at this accuracy. Boom. Just got it there. Sheesh. So if he can continue to do this type of thing, sling the ball like this, yeah, Marcus Mariota to the Falcons could be really good. And we've already know kind of some of the offense Arthur Smith wants to do. First of all, Arthur Smith was with Marcus Mariota in Tennessee before they moved off of him for Matt Ryan, and it kind of got a little ugly over there. So Arthur Smith has a little bit of history of Marcus Mariota. Once again, they keep Cordell Patterson. They re-sign him, so him and the gadget. Wide receiver, running back, all of that, quick options, screen passes with Marcus Mariota's dual threat ability, and it definitely shows in this game. Used the dual threat ability, was the leading rusher right here. Here we go. Play action, Marcus Mariota. Solid speed, and fighting kind of like a Josh Allen of not trying to go down. Obviously not as big and beefy as Josh Allen, so please pick your battles carefully. But look at that, 10 yards, fighting right up the middle, getting it done. Marcus Mariota on the next one, dropping back to pass, slinging the ball. Look at the sling. Oh my goodness. Just a one-step pop and let it rip. Let's count the yards. And this was in 2020, throwing it from the 40-yard line on the opponent's 40-yard line, getting it all the way basically down to the goal line. So that's kind of 40, 38 yards, 100% on the money. Good arm strength on the money, the accuracy, throwing to Darren Waller. So, now he's throwing to Kyle Pitts now in Atlanta. So it's all really kind of, I'm telling you, folks, I don't know if we'll ever hear about this, but if I get a chance to ask anybody in the Falcons a question, it's going to be like, hey, did Marcus Mariota only get this job because of the Week 15 game in 2020? And I'm almost certainly they said yes. Because if Marcus Mariota got no kind of starting action, nobody would kind of think anything about him. Oh, it's just, the backup Marcus Mariota, yeah. We're not going to bring him in to go and elevate him to a starting position, not seeing him perform off the backup for, 3 years. So he literally has this one game to thank for it, and he's lucky he played his ass off in this game. And remember, folks, I remember this, clear as day. We were gushing about this performance. This is really where the Marcus Mariota hype for us began, watching this game, breaking it down on the show. I think we even did a Wednesday film study for this on how good Marcus Mariota is. And so he has this one game to thank for a second life, a new breath in the NFL. Hopefully he takes full advantage of it, and he can make it work with Arthur Smith and company over there in Atlanta. Here he is, falling behind, getting the ball there, felt the pressure coming, got the ball out of his hands quickly, first down. Once again, and you're going to need that. You're going to need to be able to get a passer in the league that can get the ball out of his hands quickly. We see all the great edge rushers that are kind of teaming up with other great edge rushers, especially in the AFC. The NFC still has the 49ers with Nick Bosa, or Joey Bosa. Nick Bosa, excuse me. I had it right the first time. So, Marcus Mariota able to get the ball quickly out of his hands, able to kind of be dual threat, able to kind of, play action and read option. Here it is on 4th and 2. Play action, taking it to the corner, diving, extending the ball right there. And are they going to give him the first down? That was real close. Marcus Mariota on the stretch. This is what we're talking about. A gamer right here. A gamer, and he didn't know this was going to be the only game he plays in 2 years, folks, but he made the most of it. Ready for your moment, and Marcus Mariota right there on 4th and 2, extending the ball, extending it to the first down marker, balling out, being that true gamer, because literally every opportunity makes a difference. And once again, Marcus Mariota only has a job right now because because of this game. In this game alone, another 4th and 2. Oh my God, passing the ball here, and look at the ball placement, low and away where only the receiver can get it on 4th and 2. Man, oh man, an absolute woof. Wow. As the defender trying to break it up, Marcus Mariota puts it in the most beautiful spot, low and away for the first down on 4th and 2. So absolutely gaming out here, folks. 3rd and 7, Marcus Mariota taking off with it. He's got some solid speed. Not as fast as Lamar Jackson, not as fast as Kyler Murray. A little bit of Josh Allen-ish, I would say. A little bit of Josh Allen-ish. Maybe Josh Allen a tad faster than Marcus Mariota, but still enough speed to be workable in this league. So Marcus Mariota, I mean, look at this throw right over the middle, right on the money. Another first down. And this was just him. A random week where Derek Carr goes down, ready to play. 4th and 1 in the red zone. Buys the time. Look at that. Floats it over the defense. Gets it to the first down marker. To Darren Waller. 1st and goal, down 24-17. Marcus Mariota, 3rd and goal. 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Oh my God, look at this. Gamer! Marcus Mariota. I love it. Diving over everybody for the touchdown. Tied at 24-24. Marcus Mariota now 3 minutes left. Slinging the ball on the sideline. First down grab over midfield. I believe he does throw the interception. I believe it's not his fault, but look at this throw. Man, oh man, beautiful on the boundary. Recognizing who's open, going to his playmakers, Darren Waller. How much practice time did you think Marcus Mariota had with Darren Waller before he got into in-game action here? Probably not that much. Derek Carr's obviously going to be the starter over Marcus Mariota any day of the week. So, it only takes an injury like it happened here in the game. And Marcus Mariota is still finding his playmakers, going to his number one options. You got to respect it, folks. Love it. Here we go, 2nd and 3 now. This is in overtime. Marcus Mariota throws an interception at some point. Once again, I believe it was not his fault. Had a little bit earlier in the... Oh, no, this was... Yeah, that drive right there that he was on throws that interception. Truly unfortunate. But it goes in overtime. Couldn't quite get it done in overtime here. Marcus Mariota, once again, running right here, picking up the first down, looking real good while doing so, folks. So, Marcus Mariota, excited to have this man back in the league, ready to see this man's second chance out here. Definitely think he deserves this second chance. And, man, oh man, Marcus Mariota, right time to step it up and be a gamer and be a baller was week 15 of 2020, and he absolutely stepped up. Didn't get the win, but looked so gosh dang good while losing in that game. So Marcus Mariota now going with the Falcons. We'll see how much he's learned from taking a back seat, learning from Derek Carr. How much did he learn from being kind of the second string, from being the starter, learning, taking all the reps and making the most of it, but literally sitting down, reflecting. All right, now that I'm the backup, how can I make the most of it? How can I improve? What did I do wrong from the starting perspective and all of that? So I truly hope Marcus Mariota was an absolute sponge over the last 3.5 years right here. Gets better, goes out, balls out. Maybe obviously doesn't look like the best quarterback in the league, but looks serviceable, winning games. You got a true 50-50 chance of winning with Marcus Mariota on a gamely basis. That's what I want to see from the man. Having a kind of an average / above average chance of winning any given Sunday out here. He's got all the tools in his kit, I think, folks. Let's see if he goes out there and gets it done for the Falcons. So Marcus Mariota to Atlanta in replace of Matt Ryan. I think I'm all here for it. All right, and now because of Marcus Mariota going to the Falcons, we get Jameis Winston re-signing with the Saints. So he's going to stay with the Saints for probably another 2 years, signs a 2-year, $28 million contract to stay with the Saints, and we'll see if they can kind of get Jameis Winston a little bit more aggressive throwing the ball down the field. Once again, he's got a defensive-minded head coach in New Orleans, so hopefully that doesn't hurt him too much, but Jameis Winston is staying in New Orleans, folks. Alrighty. That is going to have to do it for us today. We'll see any more information on quarterbacks, folks. Watch out for Gardner Minshew. Watch out for Baker Mayfield. Probably the next two quarterbacks on deck to potentially go to a new team. So we'll see how all that plays out. But for Matt Ryan, I love it to the Colts. For Marcus Mariota, make the most of your second opportunity. You're not going to get another one. I can almost guarantee you that. You're not going to get another chance. So take the fullest advantage of this one. Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us today. We will be back live tomorrow noon Eastern for a nice little kind of film study show. Watching Russell Wilson, is this man still good? So we can move on to see, is Baker Mayfield still good? Is Jimmy Garoppolo good? We got to look at Mason Rudolph, because I'm not going to let y'all live down those comments saying that Mason Rudolph is better than Mitch Trubisky. We got to watch Mitch Trubisky. Is Mitch Trubisky good? So a lot of quarterbacks that are kind of needing their little resume a little checked out. We got to kind of refresh, and we got to kind of get to these quarterbacks here. Once again, the draft. Want to watch some draft quarterbacks, draft prospects, and all that. So we must get a little bit of a move on here. So we got to watch Russell Wilson first, because that's kind of the first one that kicked everything off. So tomorrow, film study, watching Russell Wilson, watching Malik Willis, who won the Seahawks trade, so we can move on to the other quarterback trade, so we can finally get to Matt Ryan and Marcus Mariota a little bit more in depth, a little bit more. Alrighty, folks, so we are out of here. Have an absolute great one. We will see you tomorrow. Can't make any money here in the NBA tonight, but we can. There's always tomorrow, folks. There is always tomorrow, and we will be here tomorrow. So back here tomorrow, live noon Eastern. Have an absolute great one, folks. We are out of here. Have an absolute great one. We are out of here. Have a great one, folks. Have a great one, folks. We're out of here. We're out of here. Have a great one. We're out of here. All right, folks. We're truly out of here this time. We are out of here. Have a great one.